Property Tribes on location at the Property Investor Show at ExCel London. It has returned after a 2-year hiatus, and so much has changed in the industry in that time. 2 years ago, LendLord was born, and LendLord are now here at the show, and I'm joined by Josh, who is the Chief Growth Officer, and also Brendan, who is a portfolio landlord and LendLord user. And Josh, come to you first. Have you had some interesting conversations so far at the show?
Yeah, we've had some great conversations, lots of people interested in using the system, and a lot of existing users that are really happy with it and singing its praises.
Good. It's lovely to meet people face to face and hear the feedback, because LendLord really appreciates the feedback from the users, doesn't it?
Definitely. We've had a few requests for some potential upgrades, some of which are already in our roadmap and some that we're going to add. And we love to hear feedback from our existing users.
Yeah, and Brendan, I'll come to you. You had a bit of a Victor Kiam moment. You're a portfolio landlord. You loved LendLord so much that you actually became an investor in the platform. Tell us what you love about LendLord.
I did. About 14 months ago, I was actually looking for a program to support our own product portfolio. And looking out to the market, LendLord appeared, and really the ease of use, the simplicity, the way that all the complexities of running a landlord portfolio allows you to run within LendLord. It was literally simple, and my team could actually run it. I could actually receive notifications within the program, and it gave me a real hands-on control. Whereas in the past, using a fragmented programs, whether it was on accountancy or whether compliance, whether it's maintenance, it really did give us an opportunity. And then from looking at the program that was actually in the market, I think the ability that LendLord then had in adopting ideas, suggestions, that was a real credit from their standpoint. So if we make a recommendation, they improved it, they looked at the system, and the system today of LendLord, 14 months on, is really a huge credit to the team back in Israel and actually developing the team. And I think that shows us as a team that we can bring ideas, they can add it to the platform, and it really is a super platform.
No, that's really good to hear your feedback. And Josh, you did a really well-received and well-attended presentation yesterday. You only had about half an hour, but you went through the different modules, and I think a good way to describe it, you can dip in and out of the different modules of LendLord, but ultimately they let you see the picture on the box, like a jigsaw puzzle.
That's right. I mean, you've got 3 core parts of the platform: the portfolio manager, you've got a deal analyzer, and then you've got the finance part, and they're all very intrinsically linked together. So we did a demo yesterday afternoon with a lot of users that perhaps are familiar with just one part of the system. We showed how they're all linked, and ultimately, if you're looking to buy a new investment property, you can analyse it, arrange your finance, and then manage that property all in one place. And that's really what LendLord's all about.
Yeah. And Brendan, I think in this post-COVID-19 world, I mean, we've already said this is the first show in 2 years because of COVID. I think risks have been massively amplified for landlords. I regard LendLord as a risk mitigation tool. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, I think if you use a deal analyzer and you actually get familiar with it, I mean, it mitigates that, and it really does actually starts making questions about numbers you're putting in the system. It allows you to avoid wasting time and making the wrong decisions on a purchase that you may or may not consider. Okay, and from a standpoint, actually, what's out there in terms of the finance world, it gives you a snapshot straight away whether or not the affordability can work. Okay, so I think for us, actually, it reduces the wasted time, mitigates the risk from our standpoint, and gives us, most importantly, the best rates that are actually on the marketplace. The algorithms behind LendLord really work the marketplace at that moment, that snapshot, and says to you exactly what's there. So what's not to like about it, really? Okay.
And the best part about it is it doesn't cost anything. For the majority of the features that are there, it's free. It
costs your voice, though.
It costs my voice, yeah. Been doing too much talking, but everyone asks, what's the catch? If you want to link it to your bank accounts, all right, there's a small charge, but ultimately it's a free product for the most part, and it's there for everyone to use.
Well, Josh, I became a landlord in 1992.
I won't tell you how old I was in 1992.
This is my point, though, because when I started as a landlord, there weren't tools like LendLord to help landlords. I was like an analog landlord using spreadsheets and post-it notes and filing cabinets. Now, the people that are coming here to the show today, lots of newbies looking to dip their toe in the water, they've got this amazing tool to help them from day one. and I think it gives them such an edge. I wish I'd had LendLord when I started out over 25 years ago, but of course the technology's only just here now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I bought my first buy-to-let property about 20 years ago, and if there were tools like this available, I'd hope to have had a lot more potential properties by now. But it's a great tool. It's very intuitive. It's very easy to use, and people, especially those starting out, really, really like our deal analyzer tool.
Yes.
It helps them make good decisions.
Yes. I think so too. So Brendan, what's your favourite kind of feature of LendLord? You're a portfolio landlord yourself, with quite a substantial portfolio. I don't think you'll mind me telling people. You're using it on a daily basis, aren't you? What's your favourite thing about it?
Well, I'm money mad, so I like to know where our money is in our business. So whether it's from our tenants or whether it's what we're spending. So it manages both parts. So if we give the impression we are in control of where our money stands. I think the other aspect of LendLord, which is heading in this direction, which is where the compliance issues of HMRC. So making tax digital. So where landlords are the analog types. Again, we've met many of them today, and still the spreadsheet is the number one go-to resource that landlords are having. Well, them days are going to be over. And the question really, what LendLord does very succinctly is manage your accounts so that you have a ready-to-use system when that law comes into place. And I don't think we should wait for it. I think we should be using it now, because the transformation between actually paying and looking after your taxes 9 months after the end of the year to looking at a quarterly basis, you need a system robust enough to actually manage that there. And I think so I think tax is a real thing that where landlords haven't necessarily been at the forefront. Money is for me, and I like to make sure that we know where our money is. And when making tax digital is rolled out, LendLord will be absolutely the program to use.
So the message is start using a LendLord now, I guess, and getting used to it. And it is so easy to navigate. It's very intuitive. In your presentation yesterday, Josh, you recommended people just get onto it, start looking at it. You can't break anything or do anything wrong, can you?
That's right. You can use it on the web, you can use it on the go through our mobile app. So we've got lots of investors that will be looking at properties, using the deal analyzer while they're at the property, pulling down the data and deciding whether or not they want to make an offer on that investment. You couldn't do that a few years ago.
No, exactly. And I love it, that the thought that you've got your portfolio in your pocket. So there could be hundreds of investors and landlords walking around the show today with their portfolio in their pocket. And if they need to do something quickly, they've got the data there.
Certainly. They could be sat on the beach. I think a lot of people would like to be living in that way. So it makes it very, very accessible. You can cover a lot of ground with very little time and resource.
Okay, fantastic. Well, lovely speaking to you both. We've been talking to Josh and Brendan about LendLord. Of course, LendLord is a friend and partner of Property Tribes, and we're big supporters of the software. And we know that it's really, really going to help landlords going forwards into the future, isn't it, Brendan? Because the game's changed.
It has, and I think we've got to keep up with it. I mean, I think what's really from this show itself, actually, Property, it's the first time I've actually been at the show. I'm really incredibly impressed by the professionalism that's been laid on here. I think the landlords themselves are expanding their portfolios. I think the marketplace itself is actually showing real strong strength. And I think the only way is up at this moment in time, and I think we need to be there. And if the market shifts, I think you need a robust system to see where you are on your portfolio journey, and either exit or enter at a particular time. And the matrix within LendLord will show you that.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's simple. It really is a simple system to use and a simple decision to make for landlords to decide to use, and it's free. So get on with it and join.
That's brilliant. I'm so glad you mentioned the word professionalism, because I think the direction of travel is to be a more professional landlord, and LendLord helps with that, doesn't it? So if you're just a newbie starting out, or you're a really experienced, seasoned investor like Brendan, LendLord is a great tool to help you really optimise your property portfolio and business. So thanks for talking to me, guys, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thanks, Vanessa.
Great Property Tribes, by the way, just to let you know.
Thank you.
Like the Property Tribes.